just don't feel the same. Just don't feel the same.
And here we are, folks, back with that special guest. Can you guess who it is? Well, it's John's partner, the incredible Bee Ricketts, in the house.
Well, hello. Hey, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Bee. Really loving that shirt. We were just talking about how it's a shame this show is not in color because her shirt is exquisite.
Thank you. Yes. This is a New Works shirt, just so anyone out there looking for a new brand. They're a small maker out of California, and they actually design their own prints. So everything that you can get is like pretty bespoke. They do limited runs. It's pretty cool. So New Works.
New Works.
Check it out. And in Chicago, if you're looking for a place that carries them, there's this great little boutique in West Town called Squashed. So little local plug for you. Definitely got this there.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of clothing, I'm wearing a shirt that you picked out for me.
You sure are. I'm so
when we were
flattered.
shopping together.
Yes.
As my salute to you and your fabulous fashion.
Thank you. That's so kind. No, I was so excited when I walked in and saw that because, again, the moodiness of the moment naturally demands black and white, but this shirt, I'm telling you, is stunning. And it really just really brings out your eyes.
Aww.
And like, gosh, the audience is missing out.
Bee Ricketts, I love you.
I love you too.
So let's talk about, do you remember the first moment we met?
I sure do. It was like, out of a sleazy, we're calling this indie sleaze now, right?
Ooh.
Just an indie sleaze moment in 2011, right? I came down a flight of stairs from the original book club. Came out into like a warm summer's night. And then I see this tall glass of water holding a cigarette, laughing under a fucking street light. Are you kidding? How could I forget how I met you, Kelly?
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Gosh.
How Bee meets people.
She's an incredible person, an incredible soul. We love Bee Ricketts.
You'll come to know this about me. I sure do love like a gorgeous metaphor, but any kind of simile, any playful words, but God damn it, if you're looking for romance, it's constantly assaulting you. Like, your senses. Like,
wow.
Just walk outside. It was one of those romantic moments of my life. Are you kidding? You're
Oh
just
my
there
God.
laughing. Stranger, you turn to me immediately. Come on.
Yes,
Who doesn't want to have a meet cute like that?
You are so sweet.
I'm also just a shameless flatterer. So
you are. That is something I love about you. You are like the best hype girl.
Listen,
I mean, next level hype.
I'm here to tell you why you are a gift to this earth.
Wow.
And that you applies, metaphorically, spiritually, however you need it to that day, right? So I'm here for you. So
Oh gosh.
tell me what you need. What's going on?
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm delighted to be here too, Kelly.
So yes, we talked about, we were out in front of book club when we, this moment you're speaking of,
Right.
and you
The
talked
world
about candy
stopped.
cigarettes, and you gave me props for candy cigarettes.
How I said I
and
was
that
a
so
shameless flatterer? My first line was like, gosh, I saw your film and it was beautiful. It changed me. No, it was unexpected because, when you have a partner like Schwolsky, we're chatty. You know, we take our time together, and we do talk about our projects a lot. And so I was hearing about candy cigarettes for weeks, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm sure it's great. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm desensitized to it. But then the screening happens, and I hear not only that, you know, we're going to represent, but that you're not going to be there. And so I hadn't even met you yet, right? I had no concept of who you were. And I go, and I don't know. I'm just kind of in a weird mood. I'm sitting there. John mentioned his sister's in from out of town, so I'm also, like, trying to, like, catch up and be like, what's going on? And then the lights dim, and this, like, beautiful, intimate story plays out in under 10 minutes, right? It's like, you know, I'm a very emotional person, and I was watching this show, and I'm shameless about it. As soon as it's a context in which I'm watching film of any kind, theater too, but the film in particular, if you want me to weep, like, I'm going to weep, you know? And the way that you crafted this narrative, this memory that you brought us into, you know, I believed that intimacy between this, like, young girl kind of witnessing femininity in a way that kind of was against the grain of the moment, right? Like, you really told this story, and it felt like I knew you. So then when I did meet you, my God, of course I bring up candy cigarettes. Because, Kelly, what a vision.
Aw.
What a story.
You were so sweet.
Also,
Thank
in
you.
the context of that film festival, I just want to, like, give the audience members a
Think
peek
about
into
it.
this.
Oh,
Sorry, I just noticed that.
Tidy.
And
Okay.
that's Bee Ricketts' rule. If you can fix it within 10 seconds,
agreed.
do it immediately.
Oh
Otherwise,
my
you're
God.
unforgiven.
That's
Do
great advice.
not make me sit in the shame of your knowledge.
You got spinach in
Amen.
your teeth,
Good
get it fixed immediately.
gravy.
I'm not trying to detract. I wanted to say, though, that, like, there was something
It's a brownie
about your
point on it.
juxtaposition. I try. If I'm going to butt in at all, I better get a brownie
Yeah.
point at the same time.
It's got to literally be life-saving, socially.
But we were in this festival with, like, completely, like, absurdist experimental films.
Really talented
So it was
filmmakers.
it was bringing thanks. I was a filmmaker who made this one. But what I'm saying is, like, they were all
Flattery.
thank you. They were all very short and very, like, they were playing with noise a lot and all this, and then we then we just, like, kind of dive into this world where we're seeing this story that Bee is describing that is a very, like, tender story, and the reaction in that room was really cool because they did even the guys that put it on, they did not know what to expect in a certain manner, which is kind of like they should have watched it beforehand, but, like, also they were like, that was awesome, like, that came from such a pure place, not from like an avant-garde place. It came from a real, like, this is the story I want to tell, and we understand it, and it was accessible, and that was, I think, different for that room, which was really cool.
And for anyone that, I don't know if we even said this in the context, just as, like, an FYI, not only was this Kelly's story and she wrote it, but she also starred in it. And so there was, like, this real personal connection that came through in this acting because, I mean, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, here we are, like, blah, blah, blah. We want to hear about what was going on with you when you decided that you wanted to bring this kind of memory to light, you know? How did you let that lead you?
That's a good question. Well, the prompt for this short film festival that was held at a private location, and an idol of mine was in the room. So that was cool. I was not there, unfortunately, for other reasons, just because I had something previously planned. But I had met somebody there at this private venue, and he told me about this film, little short film fest, and it was supposed to be based on your 8 or 80-year-old self. So I had a concept, and it was my first stab at writing in general like that. I mean, I do comedy, but I am an aspiring filmmaker. Now I can say I am a filmmaker, which I
are.
really love. But
If anyone doubted it, we know now. We've been hyping it up for at least 5 minutes.
amen. But yeah, it was based on my real experience. growing up and seeing my aunts
Uh-huh.
and growing up in a large Irish Catholic family. And then also being an aunt now.
Yeah.
And so it showed, two different experiences. And I did use my niece, played young Kelly.
Yeah.
And then my mom played old Kelly.
What was that like to be able to work with like two other generations of women in your family? Like that's such a unique lens to be able to present.
Yeah, it was beyond special, just having all my family. And you guys, I mean, John and Cam and the crew saw my family was very involved in the process. And
Hey, we smoked up your mom.
Oh,
Sorry.
Hey,
I'm
Mom.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. I probably should have said
no, that's okay.
She was amazing though. She was so fun to work with. And going through actual family photos and stuff like that.
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know. That there was something to that. What Maddie made of that too in the editing room as well, I thought was, really cool to see. Like Bee's talking that intergenerational kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the music was custom music. I had heard this music. I met a lady who had some songs, and she sent me some songs, and I was able to pick the one. And it's a bit noir feeling, but I wanted it to feel that way. And yeah, it was an awesome experience, and
Yeah.
it's just catapulting me into making my feature film, which is my ultimate goal.
Right.
So more to come.
I guess.
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the prize. Oh my gosh, this is exciting.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh yeah, it was fun to work on.
Thank you. But yeah, so let's talk about this partnership. Tell me about the history of
Between-
Bee and Jon.
Oh, Bee and Jon, Jon and Bee. Yes, no, we love to talk about this. It's so fun.
Creatively or otherwise.
Yeah, no, we are going to milk this for as long as it's worth, in case you haven't figured out. We're long-winded. So, Jon and I did meet in April of 2021, which those of you who are paying attention to the last 7 years, right? That was like peak pandemic, right when everyone was getting their first dose of the vaccine. Where we thought, ooh, maybe we aren't all going to die, right? It's really exciting times. But I was spending time with, I knew very few people in the city of Chicago. Like Jon, I know we heard this earlier. I'm also a transplant. I'm from California, originally Northern California, the real Northern California, which is above the Bay Area. I'm not dissing the Bay. It's just separate. It's different. Anyway, I moved here in late 2019 also, so I had very little time to get to know the city before the pandemic started, and I made a few friends over the course of that first year of being here in spite of being kind of like remote. And one day I was over at one of those friends, shout out Sunny Wooden.
Sunny.
Sunny, one of my very first friends in the city. We were hanging out on his porch one night because he asked me to come over because his roommate was having a gathering. And let's just say he wanted a buddy because of this gathering. And that's all I'm at liberty to say. And we were out on the back porch debriefing on said gathering when Sunny goes, oh, hey, look, here comes my neighbor, Jon. And this guy comes out on his balcony. It's 2 floors down. And, Chicago balconies, if you're not familiar, there are a lot of courtyard buildings. It's really charming. You can kind of like see people. And, in 2020, 2021, just to kind of remind everyone, this was like the period of time where we briefly thought that the best way to show solidarity was to like hit a pan, at like 7 p.m., that kind of thing. So there was still this like joie de vivre, like, yeah, yell at your neighbor. Like we've really returned to a sense of normalcy. Like, do not yell at me on a balcony today, right? Like, I don't want that. You don't want that. But this was 2021, right? And so Sunny and I are on the balcony, and he goes, here comes my neighbor, Jon. And so Sunny starts yelling at Jon. Jon's chatting back, and I'm just kind of like, bored, but I haven't seen like another human being in a while, right? That was new. And something about Jon like hits my ear really funny. Like I can't remember exactly what he said. but it prompts me to go, who the fuck are you? Because I don't have social anxiety. Like, I'm totally fine with making things very weird very quickly. Because remember, this is a stranger, right? It's nighttime. You can't see me. I can't see you. We're both backlit. You know, I'm just shouting at you. Who the fuck are you? And
to a North Jersey boy, that was music to my
You
ears.
know-
I was like, "Who's this?" with
we
the
find what
shag
we're looking
haircut.
for, you know?
I say, "I'm John motherfucking Schwolsky. Who the fuck are you?"
And because, again, that's like the mating call, apparently, for a very specific niche part of society.
Yeah. Well, New Jersey state motto is "We don't like you either." So
Right,
you know,
but like I'm not from Jersey. I'm
Right,
just
sure.
a little bit weird, right? So
you were trying to get me to go to a bar.
I was doing what I was doing, okay?
Yeah.
So I yelled back, you know, I'm Bee fucking Ricketts, right? And yeah, I was trying to get Schwolsky to go to a bar. And before we judge me too harshly, we can still judge me harshly because, listen, it's fair. The bar in question, it was like when bars were like open, but it was more like you could get a drink to go. So it's not like I was saying like, let's go like mingle with strange without a mask on in 2021. Like, I'm not a lunatic, but I was shouting at someone on their balcony and being like, why aren't you going to come out? And that is lunatic behavior. So
Now,
I'm a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah,
Right?
part of this experience is that B was backlit by a floodlight, and I, in my stoner ways, had already unplugged my floodlight many months prior.
Yeah, there's no
So I'm in a complete shadow, and she's backlit, so we hadn't even seen each other's face. This was when 100% us just listening to each other and just having
just
this
shouting.
like shouting back and forth,
know?
which felt like people, you know, like in the pandemic playing trumpets and like violins in Italy on their balcony, like to each other, and they were all like collabing on stuff. This was a collaboration.
I'm alive.
Yeah, this
you
is
know?
a collaboration between a Sagittarius and a Capricorn that just kind of like went way into what it is now.
And so, to your question, this partnership, I mean, it's been a balancing act of sharing the fucking spotlight and being the goddamn leader. You know, there's a lot of give and take here,
Sure.
because we've said since kind of day one, while Schwolsky definitely has, you know, an actual like theater background and interest in film in that way, like my creative path has been a little bit more opportunistic. And more word based, but the reality of the situation is that there has been this like constant attraction to like finding meaning in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And so our
Cool.
partnership together has been kind of this blend of like artistry and like vulnerability, as like cringe as that is to admit, right? We're just two human beings trying to figure out how to be if not comfortable, competent in the walk towards like figuring out what it is to just be. We're a flash in the pan, right? We're barely here, but who can we be in that time? Like, who can I be in front of you? Who can you be in front of me?
Right.
So it's this like this constant conversation. Like, maybe we're organizing our living room, right? Because we live together because, like, you know, we're cool like that. But we're also having this conversation about what it is to be an artist and to approach a problem, you know, and it's this constant parallel. And so I think that's come through for both of us. We've done a lot of writing together, more so than anything.
For sure.
And just trying to make each other laugh, like with bits all day long. You know?
Oh my gosh. And one thing that's actually been really cool recently, because for a while there, as I mentioned prior, Bee's kind of like been like a huge influence on me in my own writing. Because I used to have like, I was certain set in my ways in terms of how I was writing comedy and how I wrote. I used to write plays and things like that, and Bee very quickly became a necessary part of the types of comedy that I was making last year, because it was untested. And so I think partly from necessity of like, hey, I don't want my partner to go up there and make an ass out of himself. The
Don't
other
flame out,
the other part was Bee started to enjoy this kind of thing that I was writing, and as a writer herself and such an incredible editor who would tell me, not just like don't say that story, but also like, what if you hit him with this? You know what I mean? What if you waited for that? What if you brought that call back? And we'd have a process somewhere very early on where we were co-writing a lot of jokes. And so recently we've been doing things where, Bee's been taking the lead, which has been really awesome. I mean, she's the funniest person I have in my life. So I get to have that every day. And so I'm kind of just like, I know I've been in front of the camera and on a lot of different stages. And I'm always kind of chasing that to some degree, whether serious or not, depending on the day. But you got something that's really great. So I'm excited for that, honestly. You've been writing more bits recently and just being like, I don't want to edit for you. And I'm like, okay. Well, I learned a lot through the process of us editing together. So, but I always know that we have each other to bounce stuff off. And we're both that kind of writer to a degree. Me much more so, I think, than you. But
Gosh, that was really earnest, guys.
That's cool. That's important, and that is a new part of a relationship, to be able to write together. My boyfriend is not someone who wants to be on stage per se, but we do bounce a lot of things off of each other.
Oh, that's so
and
nice.
he's very, very funny, and he's added a lot to my writing, just
that's
being able to bounce
incredible.
things off of him. So yeah, that's something I appreciate too. And it's something I never experienced before him. So it is cool.
That's really special. Goodness.
Now,
100%.
you guys, for your birthday, did something very special.
Yeah.
Very
we
unique.
did.
That was a joint birthday party
Yes.
talent show.
It was, and I do. I'm sorry. I have to claim it fully with my chest. That was my idea.
Yeah, 100%.
That was 100% my idea.
100%.
We executed it as a union, and a unit, I should say. Union's kind of threatening right now, but anyway. As a unit, we did execute it. It was so fun. We had a joint talent show, birthday party, and the original concept, I think, scared the crap out of people. But really, it was really basic. It was just like, come to my birthday party and show us something weird that you can do, whatever it is. And you actually came and you performed, Kelly. Do you remember what you did? Because I remember. I am obsessed. Tell us about it in your own words.
I hula hooped.
Yes?
And while hula hooping, I did something that's never been done before.
Never ever.
Which, Cam just missed it, but I hit the vape pen.
Yeah,
while
you
hula hooping.
did. Oh my gosh, iconic. You know?
great.
Do you know when we have pictures of this?
I know.
Oh my
Such
gosh.
amazing pictures too. I need to post one.
Shout out to my coworker Randy, who came to our birthday party. Not only came to, but flew in from fucking Colorado.
Yeah, I met Randy
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
his
you
girlfriend,
did.
right?
Yes, Randy and Marcella.
Shout out.
Colorado.
Thanks for coming.
No, they took a lot of pictures for the party. So yeah, we got some great shots of you doing
Yes.
that. But that was the spirit of it. It was just so fun, and we had such a huge turnout. We were so flattered.
Yeah, we definitely went way over what the
No,
lovely.
no.
Well,
No, no.
no, we're not gonna say.
No, no.
We're not gonna say.
No,
we're not gonna
no,
say.
no, no.
We had a really good time, and we were
Scoobity-boop,
surprised
ba-ba. You
really
loved
happily
that.
at how many people showed up. Really packed the house.
We had a great
It
turnout.
was a packed house.
It was a packed house, and we did have so many different types of performances happen.
Oh yeah. Headstands.
Headstands,
Magic.
magicians.
I cannot wait until next year's. I hope I get an
That's
invite.
right. Of course, you're going to get an invite. And also, way to be a forward thinker. We are going to make this annual. Absolutely. It was way too fun. We saw such strange, interesting talents from our community, and even people who were like, I have no talent. We're like, let me Let me show off a little bit. And I'm hopeful that next year more people will show up and not only show up, but participate because come on, it's all in good fun.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And you got to do another stand-up set.
Absolutely. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. No.
You're the ultimate performer.
Come
Everything she does is
on.
amazing.
Yeah.
Every little thing. No, just kidding. You flatter me.
Also,
Thank you.
emceeing that event was fun. Anybody that performed got a free disco ball.
They
so
did?
that was
We
that
have
was definitely
prizes.
like a thing.
Do you still have yours?
Yes, I do.
Where is it? What did you do with it? 'Cause
It's
everyone has a
hanging
different
in
answer.
my apartment, and I actually took 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
And I actually have tried to make them out of make earrings out of
Yes.
them.
Oh,
but-
that's so fun. You know, I have one friend, I've actually had a few pictures sent, and one friend is using it actually as like the pole for like their overhead fans.
Smart.
Super smart.
That's
I was like,
great.
yes, crafty.
I might, yeah. be doing
And
that.
then the other friend put it on, this is now a little outdated, this hot goss, but it was on a Christmas tree at one point, which was cute, you know.
I put both of them on my Christmas tree.
Yes, because we're December babies. And, you know,
Yeah.
Schwolsky already spilled the beans. I'm a Sagittarius. And Schwolsky's a Capricorn. So we actually chose as our, like, model for, I mean, it evolved into the talent show, but we chose, like, the date based on the Roman holiday of Saturnalia. And we were like, yeah, it's all about, like, gift giving and, like, being jolly, a.k.a. Christmas, right? But yeah, no, it was so fun. And so, you know, giving away little tokens for
I
the
loved
season.
it.
Like, come on, you
I
know,
loved
you came
it.
out.
There, I remember. Unfortunately, there you had that little dog that your parents bought you, and
Oh, he was
we had
so
a little
funny.
crash and lost half of that guy. But R.I.P. to the dog statuette
gotta
that
send
held the
you
disco balls.
A picture, actually.
Yeah.
Though the head has fallen off, we actually turned it into a planter.
Oh,
so
God,
from
smart.
life
Very
has sprung again.
I can't wait for a pic.
Yes,
Send
we'll
me a
send a
pic.
pic.
I'm
It's
dying to
like-
see the pic.
One of those
Smart.
Yeah, you
home
know, we're
goods,
artists. Ugh.
gold chrome French bulldogs.
Oh, absolutely.
It
It's
was
like
fantastic.
it
Cool,
belongs
yeah.
in 2013,
Yeah.
but you're
Smart.
happy that it's here.
Smart save.
You know.
So let's talk a little bit about astrology.
Oh,
I heard there was some
Please.
sort of bit that Bee does, and I am a Cancer. Birthday's July
love that.
21st.
July 21st. Okay, Callie. Yes. So astrology. I love astrology. I'm kind of newer to it, which makes sense because I think myself, along with like probably 1 in 3 bisexual women, like really got into astrology during the pandemic, you know? Like we were doing the time, absolutely. And I learned just enough to be able to like tell you what you want to hear, you know? Like not just what you want to hear, but maybe even what you need to hear.
Wow, I
I
believe
know it's
that.
really like it's really conceited, but that's because of my Leo rising. So, you know, yeah, no, thank you. See, look, John's heard this a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
Kelly, Cancer. Do you know your other signs? Your moon or your gosh? Let's find
should've-
out. Do you
I
want to? Do
should've-
you
I
want to do it
should've looked
live?
it up. Sure, do it.
Okay, we're gonna do it. Don't worry, it's only gonna take like 2 minutes at most. So Kelly, let's find out. Do you know what time you were born on the 21st of July?
7 p.m.
Okay. Let's see. 7 p.m. right on the dot, huh?
I act like I know what's going on, but I've seen Bee
too,
do the
yes.
astrology stuff in so much like mixed company in
Yes.
so many different situations that I just sit back and it has become now a bit.
Listen, it is, and it's and so Kelly, like we're almost there. So just one more time, we got July 21st. What year, my dove?
79.
Okay.
My
79, but 69, you know?
Interesting fact about my birth, there was a lot of 7s. Like I was born 7/21, 79. I was like 7 pounds.
Oh.
Born at like 7:06. Like my mom was super frustrated. She was like, "Can you make it 7:07?" You know,
And wait,
but-
which city were you born in?
Chicago.
That's right. Born and bred.
Yep.
Sweet home, Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You've got your sun sign in Cancer, which we already knew. Interestingly, you also have your moon sign in Cancer. So we'll talk about that in a second. And then your ascending, aka your rising, Capricorn. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is where it gets exciting, okay? So, okay. The way I like to interpret astrology as someone who's like dangerous enough to seem credible, but still a novice. Sun sign, right? That's how you like move through life, like how you approach challenges, okay? Your moon sign is how you perceive yourself, your self-image, your self-worth. And then your rising sign is how other people perceive you. Like how you might move through a social situation, as an analogous situation, right? So Cancer is known for being, you know, a really emotive sign. Some people might, you know, disparagingly say like crybaby, but really we're going to say like in touch with our feelings, right? Come on, let's be real. And also sometimes lovingly referred to as like the mother of the zodiac signs, okay? So very, very protective energy. So you've got like a tendency to be like fiercely loyal. You care about those that you make connections with. You make connections with people easily, but you're very sensitive. So you make sure you're pretty judicious with your energy. You know, you're not just giving it away. You're making sure that the connections you make are authentic, right? So because you have that as your sun sign and your moon sign, like you're really in touch with how you feel about people. You're really in touch with how you engage with them, how they engage with you. Like you are not in any way, I would say, like, you know, cavalier with people. You care about them. And that's something that really comes across. And I'll just say, like, again, got to talk about Kelly's art. Like we see that come across in how your art presents too. So it's not just in how you move with others and how you see yourself, but how you want to portray the world to others is like really loving. And that's gorgeous. And then we have this rising sign of Capricorn, right? And Capricorn's like the workhorse of the zodiac. Like they get shit done. They believe in themselves. They're always looking to the next project, the next opportunity, next possibility. And like combining that with your like affinity for other people is really interesting, because what we see, Kelly, is like, again, I know it seems like I'm just like kissing you on the forehead right now, but truly, like, you build community every time you engage. So you're building as you're caring about other people. And that's such a unique skill set. And this is why astrology is super fun, because it's a way for me to like compliment my friends, but with the stars.
Wow.
You know? So literally think about that. Who are you? You're written in the stars. You're gorgeous. Think about that.
That's amazing.
Right? Like that's just you.
If B says so.
You got a good one. We were on a show that
Poor John.
I was a guest on Bee's Bad Astrology.
That's right. Show where we tell you how bad it is.
And my signs are Capricorn, Sagittarius, Capricorn, which Bee lovingly referred to as a shit sandwich.
I sure did. I did
So
say that.
that was really, that was lovely.
It was, and it was also true.
That's a good combo. All
Yeah,
those sevens, that's
all
a
this
good
like
thing.
structure and chaos, you know.
You got a good one.
Yeah, you got a good one, Kelly. Dang.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you know. Some people are little sweetie cream pies, and other people might be shit sandwiches. So we love them.
Well, I think you're both sweetie cream pies.
I will take that compliment.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
a sweetie
Both
cream pie.
sweetie cream pies.
Please do not misconstrue this. Schwolsky
No,
is the
oh
best.
God, this union was made in the stars. I love you too.
We have fun. Yeah,
We do. We do
love
have
you
fun.
as well. Because this is a fun way of talking about this. 100%.
We really enjoy it. Okay.
Oh man, incredible.
So tell me, each of you, what is next? What's next for Jon Schwolsky?
For me, I've kind of got a decent amount of irons in the fire with kind of just staying on the employment side of things in the world. And just for me, I've come to a point in my career where that also happens to do with production, which is cool and also its own challenge. So I'm kind of right now kind of in a position where I'm kind of resetting, not rebranding of sorts, but kind of I now have the time because I left my corporate job to edit the material that I made at book club. And the 7th show that I did this past year was 100% the gift that Bee gave me of doing 7 shows. It was funny that you talked about lucky sevens, because I had the 6 shows at book club, but she knew that for some reason, I'm like just standing in the kitchen one day and I said, I really wanted 7 shows, like in this time that I'm like incubating, because I'm trying to do it differently now, which answers your question, I guess. But she gave me that lucky number 7 like right before my birthday, so that felt kind of nice. And so for me, I'm actually really looking forward to writing more and using the free time that I do have to make with anybody that wants to make stuff. Very similar to how you approached me, because you want to, because the time is now to make the thing. I don't think waiting on any laurels or waiting on any time has served me in my non-traditional pathway through life. So I'm just I see the shit in the world and I think to myself, it is now time to move with intent. And so I've even been realizing with friends recently that have told me I've always bucked systems and I've always been anti the establishment or whatever. Having worked in a corporate job for only 2.5 years, I question that in myself. And now I'm like, I'm free.
Amen.
I can do what I want to do. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to take the fruits, honestly, of being my work on those shows and synthesizing them into something that I could sustain. There's no need to do 6 different types of shows in a year.
No.
Most comedians don't do that. I challenge myself that way. So I'm looking forward to taking a beat and just loving the thing that I'm writing and letting that grow while also helping other artists make whatever they want to make. Music videos, concert films. I don't really give a shit, though I care a lot. I just want to keep making because I know how to do it and I've learned the skills through like hardship and a lot of time and a lot of good people being on my team.
Yeah.
Soundbite. B, what about you?
What about you,
Me?
Bee? What's next for you?
What's next? So I have a couple things going. I do have a day job. Boo, crazy. What? No. Why is she not independently wealthy? Come on, that's not fair.
You look like you are.
Thank you. You gotta dress for the part that you want.
Sunglasses
right?
inside and the
Amen.
rings.
She looks incredible.
Hashtag. We've got Maximus Grandma in the house. You're welcome. No, what's next for me? I am currently working with a wonderful local comedian on her new sketch comedy show, The Mabel Fleming Show. So let's plug Mabel Fleming. Heck yes, we love Mabel. So I'm kind of getting my teeth cut a bit there with writing and working with others. I've done kind of intimate collaborations and I've edited for a lot of other artists and written some of my stuff here and there, but I haven't done a whole lot of performing or bringing that in a group format. So it's been a great space for me to get to know the stage in that way,
Yeah.
which has been really exciting. And then I'm just continuing to write. Right now I'm testing material, which means I'm, seeing my therapist and seeing what lands and what earns kind of like a thoughtful, like,
Yeah.
And
Got
I
it
feel like
from
I've got a
me.
really comfortable 60-40 split right now.
Yeah.
So that to me says you'll probably start seeing me around the city a bit more. I'm going to be
Wow.
floating some open mics and candidly, shameless plug, I am here to flirt shamelessly with the camera or other people for the sake of comedy. Just let me know. I'm here. I'm ready.
amazing.
I'm professionally slutty. Like, let's do it. Like, I'm very interested.
I'm adding that to my
Yeah,
resume.
you're welcome to it. I think
Professionally slutty.
it's a very empowering, little moniker that you can wear, and if someone says it back to you, you can absolutely go like, in 2025, come on. No,
Wow.
come on. So play both sides. But yeah, that's what's next for me at the moment. I'm staying open to things, getting a bit more comfortable with being in front of the joke, not just writing it from the shadows. So
Wow.
no, having a good time.
Well,
So,
this is a great place to debut this new course in
is
your
a
life,
great
coming up
place.
comic.
Absolutely. It's in the name and in the spirit of the show that you've got so far, Kelly. I mean, it's been great. I've been watching your show, just kind of buffing up. If I was going to be here last few days. And killer environment that you've cultivated.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here, guys.
Oh my gosh, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
There's some projects coming up that in the film world where we were talking a little bit before this, but I can already see some future interviews because we obviously all get along so well together. There's so much more to talk about, but
Absolutely.
let's get going creatively and get some of these plans into motion. So, guys,
Yes.
this has been incredible.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what's next for both of you
Thank you.
as a couple and individually.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks.
that. You'll see us around.
Yeah. I'm
Together
looking forward to
and
listening
apart. Yeah.
to more of the podcast.
Absolutely.
This is a great space you have here, so it's cool to finally see it and finally be here.
Yes. Kelly's the best.
Thank you.
In case you
guys.
need that little sound bite ever. Coming up comic.
Kelly's the best. Kelly's the best. Kelly's the best. Kelly's the best.
Listen to it. The
Today.
podcast.
Listen to the
We're
podcast.
Super smooth.
We're all your
Please,
podcast
yes,
listening
listen.
needs.
If you're not listening already, listen to
Listen.
Coming Up
Come
Comic.
on.
Make sure you subscribe.
Do you
and
feel
like,
overstimulated? It's a good time.
Get stimulated. Yes. Wait. What was that? A professional slut.
Yes. Professionally
Penis.
slutty.
Professionally slutty. That even sounds better than I
Yeah.
said. Professional slut.
No. Coming up. No, this is our sponsored T-shirt. Like coming up comic. Professionally slutty.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The merch is coming out now.
Yeah. Come on. Who wouldn't buy that? Are you kidding me?
Yes, it's already in the works. But thank you for joining us today. We have had an absolute blast with the Bee Ricketts and Jon Schwolsky.
Thanks for having us, Kelly.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Kelly.
guys. That's it. Episode 8, Coming Up Comic. And don't forget to check out the new book club. What's that, Addie, again?
2871 North Lincoln.
2871 North Lincoln Avenue. Check it out, book club. And shout out to my guy, Cam Stacy. We love you. Couldn't have got this thing off and running without you, Cam. Coming Up Comic, signing off. Thank you, guys. I'm Kelly McGee. See you next time. Peace.
But it just don't feel the same.
Hey, baby bee. Just calling to give you a little piece of advice from several years down the line. It's maybe a little performative to talk to myself for the first time in decades in this way, but I do think the biggest piece of advice is something that in some ways maybe I figured out early, but I didn't really harness it early, and it's that confidence carries. Don't lose sight of that. Confidence is going to carry you. There's so much that you're going to just walk into with really no plan, and it's the belief that it will work out that in fact makes it work out. So don't ever forget that. I hope I never do, and stay playful with that. So, yeah. Bye for now.
Hey, bud. You don't know me. I'm you. This is years later. This is me. How old? I'm gonna. He's 10? Okay, so yes, I understand. Well, you're not talking to me. You're wondering who this is. Not a genie. I'm not a genie. But, I am the older version of you. And what I'm saying to you, I know this. Right. Right. Okay. Well, okay, so here's what I would say to you. Seriously. Serious talk. Serious. If you believe in something. Believe in something. They're all trying to get you to believe in something. Just believe that I'm you many years later. You have a beard and you have long hair. I know you've wanted that forever. You'll get it. It just takes a long time. You don't need to know how long that's going to take, but that's just what it is. Greatness takes time.